What's up, guys, and welcome back. So, as you know, yesterday was Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and today I thought we'd look back at a couple quotes from his I Have a Dream speech. So, let's get started. Okay, so first I want to start with a quote that I can personally relate to. Now, these are gonna be quotes that are either favorites of mine or just ones that I thought were relevant. So, the first one, I look to a day when people will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Now, I personally like this one because it sends a positive message. I mean, anything that he said was positive. This one to me just took the cake. All he wanted was for everyone to get along without having other factors like race, religion, or anything else get in the way. I can personally relate to this because, frankly, I have encountered racism in my life and still can face some of it to this day. So, the first time someone had ever used a derogatory term directed towards me was when I was a young child. They'd called me the N word. Now, back then, and this would be in the 90s, racial slurs weren't really a thing. I mean, they were, just not as mainstream as they are today. So, it was a big deal because no one was really saying things like that. So, it was offensive. Now, when I was young, I don't really remember this, but when I did find out about what had happened, I was shocked. Because no one really cared or focused on race that much when I grew up. So I could see how offended my family would be by hearing it. Now, fast forward a few years, I'm in third grade, so I'm about 8 years old at this point. And again, like before, race isn't really a huge issue at this time. So it's mainly just on the back burner. I had a kid in my class, and he just happened to call me a particular name. He had called me Blacky. Now, this one's a bit harder to interpret, but I still believed, or at least wanted to believe, that he was in the wrong. But in this case, my last name, and still is, Black. So he could have easily been making fun of my last name, which still isn't good either. But I mean, you gotta be realistic at times. So I went the rest of my life thinking that this kid was being racist and just making fun of me because I was black. But honestly, I mean, would a 7 or 8 year old actually be capable of thinking like that? I'll let you decide. So the second quote that kind of sticks out to me is I have decided to stick with love. Hate is too great a burden to bear. This one I think should be fitting for more of today's time. We have so much hate and negativity going around that we've lost sight of what love actually is. Honestly, if we just started small and supported each other, we might get further in this game of life. As opposed to just going all gung ho and jumping straight to the finish line. If we were all more polite to one another, that'll make a huge difference in the long run. Think about that. And to follow up with that, faith is taking the first step even when you do not see the whole staircase. See, if we all believe that we can make a difference in this cruel world, this too shall pass. Now, looking back throughout history, it is crazy to see how far we've come and see all the milestones we've hit. I mean, from overcoming racial rights to two of the same gender getting married. That's a pretty big spectrum. I never thought that I'd see the day where we can be so independent as a whole. But sadly, we're slowly starting to revert back to old ways and lose focus of the main goal. Just loving one another and respecting each other. And on that note, I think I'm going to end it there. So, as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.